Gather round, bad witches. We are going to dive into beauty magic. Y'all have been waiting for this one. I'm about to give you the tea. We're going to be talking about what beauty magic is, what it is not, and how to start it, okay? A lot of y'all have been asking. So, oftentimes, beauty magic is referred to as glamour magic. However, glamour magic is just a portion of what beauty magic consists of. It's not the same thing. Glamoring is literally the altering of others' perceptions of you, but it's incorporated into beauty magic because we want to incorporate that glamour. We want people to view us in a more alluring, beautiful manner, sensual manner, right? So the glamour is very external based, and it's the tip of the iceberg. And by definition, beauty magic is the practicing of using intention and rituals to enhance one's physical appearance, confidence, and inner sense of beauty. Now, this last part is very important because it actually starts within. It starts within us, meeting ourselves where we are at and working with that to enhance our confidence, our inner sense of beauty, our appearance, all of it. So it's not just burning a candle with herbs. Think of it as a journey of self-discovery. And it's important to remember each individual's journey will look different person to person because we all have different bodies, different perceptions of ourselves. We all have different shadows to work through and things to deconstruct within ourselves to build our own beauty routine. So there's not one specific way to do it. Just know the most important thing is how you feel in this journey and how you perceive yourself in this journey. That is the most important thing. So I want you to view beauty magic as more internal practices versus external. Because it starts within. When we start within, the external, the glamours, that's the easy part. The getting dressed up and looking good and, people viewing you more magnetic, that's the easy part. The part that's, the more, I wouldn't say difficult, but more things to work through is going to be internal. So a great way to start is by assessing where you are with yourself. How do you view yourself? How do you feel in your own body? And it's important to acknowledge these feelings. This is a very raw part of the journey, and it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be beautiful, and that's okay. Acknowledging this first is the first step to building that beauty routine, that magic within us. Because if we don't acknowledge where we're at in our journey, we can't enhance our journey. We can't continue through the journey. So it might start with looking at yourself in the mirror with no makeup, just waking up very raw, first thing, and just say, this is me. This is where I'm starting with. This is how I feel about myself. These are the thoughts that I am thinking about my perception of myself, how I love myself, how I treat myself. It's not just how I look. It's how I feel, how I treat myself. This is self-love too. It's a huge part of beauty magic is that self-love. So we can start by looking in the mirror first thing in the morning. If not, taking a moment to reflect. Maybe it's in a journal. You writing down how you are feeling, how you're perceiving yourself, how you treat yourself. Be in a state of observation. And don't have judgment on these thoughts. Even if they're bad, you're like, not viewing yourself as well as you want to, don't be judgmental of these thoughts. Just observe them, okay? Because we want to know what's happening within us, and we can deconstruct what's happening after the fact. So just say, okay, like maybe these things, I'm not feeling that great about myself. And this is where we're starting. We're gonna work through it. It's not a beat yourself up type of moment. And a lot of us get caught up, especially if we have a lot of shadows to work through in regards to how we were brought up. Some of our families, this is a very sensitive topic, right? And we learned these things from our environment, who we were around, how they treat themselves. So acknowledging that as well is a huge part. So once we have started there, we're like, okay, I've started at this point in my life. Now what do I want to incorporate? How do I want to enhance my self-love and my inner sense of beauty? Maybe I want more confidence. Maybe I want to feel more magnetic. Once we find the components we want to add into, now we have intention. Now we can incorporate that intention into our beauty routines. And each routine is going to look different. Again, what is important is how you feel. So you might come up with some affirmations to enhance your confidence. Like, I'm a very confident person. I'm alluring and sensual. I love myself. Those are just a few affirmations off the top of my head. And reciting those affirmations every day, because we're changing the subconscious. There's a lot of psychology that goes into this. Magic is not just the spiritual. It is the mundane. It's the science. It's the psychological. And it's the center crossroads of all of it. So when we master that psychology element of it, and we're telling ourselves every day, this is who I am. I'm a confident person. I'm magnetic. I love myself. Whatever the case is, right? And we do it on the daily. Beauty magic, also like glamour magic, is most powerful when it is practiced on the daily. If you are on and off, and for my girlies or for my people with ADHD, or maybe struggle with routine like myself, struggle with depression, getting out of bed, sometimes your beauty routines are going to vary, and that's okay. Sometimes we can't, even if you're chronically ill, sometimes we can't get up out of bed and do an everything shower every day and our full skincare routine, and it takes energy. It really does. So acknowledge that consistency is better than doing it all at once. Even if it's just, okay, I'm going to clean my face off, I'm going to brush my teeth, say my affirmations, and brush my hair. Having that consistency is going to add up, right? That daily maintenance versus trying to do it all every day. Know where you're starting as far as routine goes. Be very compassionate in this, especially if you are dealing with, ADHD, depression, chronic illness, whatever may stop you from, routine. So make sure to incorporate a lot of compassion into this and be soft with yourself. A lot of times I have been very hard on myself, so I have to train my brain to have compassion in those moments where I'm like, okay, today's beauty routine is cleaning my face, is brushing my teeth and brushing my hair, and just saying, I'm love, I'm beauty, I love myself, and that's it. Now, there are things we can incorporate into the beauty routine. So once we we know where we're at. We have our intention. We start to build our routine. This is where you can experiment, find a rhythm, and this is where you get creative. Really, really creative. Incorporating new ideas into your routine is also a great idea. Once you have that rhythm going, you have that routine. When you have that energy, explore new ideas. This could be, maybe an intuitive pull to dance in front of the mirror. Maybe it's an erotic dance and there's a couple of candles lit and, it's kind of dim and you're just feeling this energy within yourself and exploring these energies. That following those intuitive pulls is very important in magic in general. But if you feel called to do something, maybe it's, I really have been wanting to get a piercing. Do it. If you feel called to dance in front of the mirror, or maybe put on a very cute outfit, something sensual, playing music that evokes the energy you want to. A lot of times it's, something to build confidence and beauty, allure, sensuality. This is where you can get very creative. And when you do this every day, you're reprogramming yourself every day. You're acknowledging where you're coming from, reprogramming it, and practicing it every day. Once we add the glamour and we burn that beautiful candle, that's the easy part, right? Candles are a great way to incorporate into our beauty magic. It's not a requirement though. I might in the morning burn a beauty candle with some love and beauty attraction oil. Every morning I will light it. I will say, thank you for making me beautiful. Thank you for making me even more beautiful today. As I'm brushing my hair is strong. My hair protects me. I'm loved. I'm sensual, right? As we are doing these actions, we are speaking these affirmations and breathing life into ourselves. It is romanticizing your life. That's what it is. But acknowledging, where we have come from is also very important because then we can track our progress. Wow, this is where I started. This is how I felt about myself. And maybe a month passes and you're like, wow, I don't resonate with these feelings anymore. I feel more confident, more magnetic, more sensual than ever, and having that inner sense of just satisfaction, even if our journey is not perfect, that is mastering the beauty magic. So, I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any more comments, questions. You can drop it in the comments. But I gave you a few examples. The most important thing is breathing life into yourself, meeting yourself where you're starting, and doing a daily routine to build off of. That's going to be the components. We're working from the inside to the outside, right? So, happy casting. Blessed be baddies. I'll see you next time.